Hi, everybody. Welcome to No Story is Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it, and we're inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Brendan, and ice to meet you. I'm done.
Listen, I forgot how birth order works for a second. I'm Pippin, and I want to dance like Uma Thurman.
Nice musical reference. Good job.
Thank you.
I'm Alex, and everyone loves a guy in a rubber suit.
And I'm Kat. Cowabunga!
Jesus
Christ. God. Yeah, that sets the movie's decade very squarely in the 90s.
Yeah, it does.
I meant to repress that particular line, though.
Nothing gets repressed in this movie. It's like, as you watch it, old wounds open up. It's like, oh yes.
Oh, that happened. Oh, that's the why I am the way I am now.
For good or ill, it made me the person I am today. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Well, like, it did give us a firm, it did give us our first experience of what is this hetero nonsense.
So true.
Yeah.
But guys, what are we talking about? Because I have so many thoughts and I really want to package them.
So today we are talking about the 1997 movie Batman and Robin, which is to say the sequel to technically the first run of Batman movies, but more or less a direct sequel to
third in the series.
Yeah, the first two being Michael Keaton Batman, third being Batman Forever with Val Kilmer, and this is number 4 with George Clooney. Yeah. So in this Batman movie, directed by Joel Schumacher, the summary, according to Google, is: this superhero adventure finds Batman and his partner Robin attempting to foil the sinister schemes of a deranged set of new villains, most notably the melancholy Mr. Freeze. Melancholy? Oh, okay.
Let's move on. We'll get to that.
Who wants to make Gotham into an Arctic region, and the sultry Poison Ivy, a plant-living femme fatale. As the dynamic duo contends with these bad guys, a third hero, Batgirl, joins the ranks of the city's crime fighters.
It's Cher from Clueless.
Legit, I was watching the opening credits, and I was like, Alicia Silverstone is in this?
Yeah, I blocked an entire hero and an entire villain from this movie.
Looking out the dirty old Batcave.
What? Like it's hard?
Okay, that is the wrong blonde.
Is it?
Okay. Would have nothing to do with any of this.
Okay. Cat, what would... well, Cher wouldn't have anything to do with this either. Or let's be real.
Yes, she would. She has exactly a brilliant, perfect line for it. As if. Thank you. I've proven my my bona fides. You may go on.
Your 90s bona fides?
Indeed.
But would the movie be improved with Paul Rudd?
Obviously.
Every movie is improved with Paul Rudd.
More likely it would be improved with Paul Rudd as his, like, teenage heartthrob persona, because that's what he was supposed to be in that movie. To be fair, he was. And then suddenly he turned out to be funny, and we were all shocked.
Paul Rudd's so great. Why aren't we watching more Paul Rudd shit on this podcast?
Put it on the list.
Because his name's not Chris. That's the real problem.
God damn it, Paul.
We need a Paul game then.
We do need a Paul game.
There's a whole new Paul game.
There we go.
God damn.
What happens? We add Paul Rudd to the story.
It's made better. No, that's Stanley Tucci. I'm sorry.
Stanley Tucci does improve and elevate every film he's in.
Okay, but...
Focus.
well, but Stanley Tucci and Paul Rudd, consider.
Have they ever been in a movie together?
We'll have to find out. Listeners, tune in to the end of this podcast where we will reveal the answer.
Listeners, if we don't do that at the end, could you remind me?
Remind Kat in particular, because she's the one who invokes
Kat
this.
about it.
Fucking wow.
Let's see it on Twitter.
So, yeah, Batman and Robin, huh? So before we kind of go delving into this, I do feel bad for Joel Schumacher after a fashion, because he was going for an aesthetic. He was going for something. It's just not.
I don't feel bad for him.
He inherited the Tim Burton aesthetic. And he has a very different one, but
here's the thing. He managed for Batman Forever. That was directed by Schumacher.
No, really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Forever was Schumacher.
Here's my thing. When I was watching this, I couldn't talk to you guys because apparently I wasn't supposed to. So actually, I talked to all the students I work with.
God damn it.
Have you guys ever watched this? And they're like, what's this movie? I'm like, oh.
You sweet summer children.
One of them's like, I'm like, well, yeah, it came out in this scene. They're like, I was a sweet, sweet 6 months old. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh no.
Okay. But looking back, first of all, I think when I first watched it, we were coming up on, it was kind of a whole new ballgame for comic book movies, right? We were heading into that seriousness. Like Michael Keaton had already been knocked it out of the park.
And that was before this, of course, but yeah.
Well, I know, but I mean, we were heading on that trajectory. And then this movie happened. And this movie happened after the serious, the trajectory of serious films, after the excellent animated series, or possibly at the same time as. And what this is, I think, is actually supposed to be a throwback to the 60s camp show.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But because it came out when it did, everyone's like, what bullshit is this?
Here's the thing. No, here is the problem.
Okay.
It was going for the 60s camp, and I think it's a very specific run of Batman, but didn't want to commit to it.
Yeah, you gotta commit.
And that's why I feel no pity for Schumacher, whatever. Because it was his job to, make it work, and he didn't.
I mean,
through his own failings.
Whether or not, the producers did something.
That could be part of it, too.
Well, the producers was we want as many toys as we can sell.
Yep.
Just
merch.
But who would drive this? Fucking no one. But it's a toy that has a distinct outline.
Yeah. The problem is that Pippin, you're completely right. They didn't commit to it. So you had this situation where they start the intro, and this is how I'm bringing us full circle to the beginning of the movie. Did you see how I did that?
What?
They start the movie with close-up shots of TNA covered in latex. I mean, that should be a hint to the... I'm sorry?
Don't forget the bat nipples.
Oh yeah, bat nips. That should be a hint to the audience that, wait, maybe this isn't going to be entirely serious. The problem... And then later we get, sound effects like boing! Stuff like that. And of course the hat that Bane wears. But in between that, we also get incredibly, what are supposed to be serious lines, and it just... The whole thing's uneven.
Yeah.
But, again, bringing us back to the beginning of the movie. So there we are.
I think, one thing that you'll see happening, the next serious run of comic book movies were the X-Men movies, because that was the year 2000 when X-Men 1 came out. Actually, and Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man was around the same time. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, they were the continuation, I think, of those other Batman movies. That's where we were heading. And then suddenly, boing!
Somebody did not get the memo, but we still went to it in theaters because they were financially successful. But I think maybe... I don't know if they were as critically received.
They were not.
Yeah. So, I think the audiences wanted it to go in that direction because we all grew up reading these comics. And then you just kind of see it's oh, we're taking a step back. Oh.
Exactly.
Oh. And I could maybe see how, that step back maybe happened. If you have the people involved in the production or Schumacher or whoever wanting to make the Batman of their childhoods.
Yep.
And it's that would have been the 60s Batman,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But the movie audience writ large has moved on.
Yep.
We want our serious narrative, damn it. and now we're having superheroes just debating philosophy all over the place. What the hell?
Listen, I prefer symbolic discussions of grief and racism in America. Thank you.
Listen, if you can't end a fight by going like, listen, have you heard about the ship of Theseus? Then is it really a fight?
See, clearly today's filmmakers have learned lessons from anime fights where it's all about your philosophies doing battle.
Good Lord.
Oh, man.
So anyway, the beginning of this stupid movie.
Oh, there's a heist. It's boring.
There's a heist that's boring, but more importantly...
It's 13 goddamn minutes of heist.
It's so long. But it's also on a blatantly fake stage. I believe it's supposed to be Mr. Freeze's like introduction, and then he shows up and he does nothing but speak in terrible puns.
Yeah.
Which having come off, like when I was a kid, I had just watched the Mr. Freeze episode of the animated series, which made me cry. And then this fucking happened.
I wonder if that helped kind of lower the audience's perceptions of this movie, is that you had like the tragic villain, Mr. Freeze, as portrayed in the cartoons that we watched. And then it's like, oh, I can't imagine him doing ice puns like that. He's sad.
Well, he does do ice puns.
He does, but he's a tragic figure doing ice puns.
He does so sadly.
There is he does it mirthlessly.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not winking at the audience. He doesn't wink at the audience. He is so wrapped up in his own trauma, he's barely aware that there's anybody outside of himself, which, by the way, is part of the problem. What? Yeah. Symbolism?
Whoa.
And he says, he sings that like you're going to die from ice, is what I'm saying.
He's like, and Batman's like, is that a pun? He's like, no, that's very serious.
You will die.
from the ice that I have over here.
But it's weird because the movie uses his animated series backstory.
Yep. Well,
because the animated series was amazing, and I should rewatch it.
Yep.
I thought about rewatching that specific episode, but I did not want.
You didn't want the feels? Understandable.
I didn't want the feels, and I didn't want to hate the movie more than I was already going to.
Not hard though. So yeah, we have like 13 minutes of Mr. Heist Freeze, and then we get the creation of Poison Ivy, which...
Wait, no. Wait, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
The important part of the Mr. Heist Freeze, the most important part, is the part where Batman and Robin click their heels together and bat skates pop out of their shoes so they can skate around and fight the evil hockey team. Which
is something that would make sense in 60s era Batman.
Yes.
Like 100%. I could see that happening. You know, quickly, Robin, deploy your bat skates. Click, click.
Yes. But the problem is that, I guess sort of unlike Mr. Freeze, they also weren't tongue-in-cheek. Like, the tone just missed so much.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
But yeah, so we get the pointless Mr. Freeze heist, and now we're going and introducing Poison Ivy, or at least her creation, working at some
South American research facility.
Yeah.
As one does.
And she's way into plants before she becomes Poison Ivy. Go figure.
Yeah.
But her boss fires her, because turns out he's a evil mad scientist and creates Bane, the luchador on drugs.
Also, the guy who plays the mad scientist has straight up mad scientist hair. I completely forgot that sequence.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact, he's an actual Batman character, that scientist.
Good lord. And he's played by the handsome studio executive from Scrooged.
Yeah, John Glover.
Yeah,
I
John
do not
Glover.
know their real names. I only know their characters. I
looked
refuse
up-
to participate with people in the real world.
I looked it up on IMDb and then forgot his
Aha.
first name for a quick second.
I have the Wikipedia page and the IMDb open right now, just in case we need it.
Good lord.
I actually will hand it to John Glover there. I did actually he knew how to be camp there.
He did. He had the hair, he had the big expressions, he had the terrible puns.
I feel like he was the only actor who knew what kind of movie he was in.
I feel like Uma Thurman had a theory. I thought she had a theory as to what kind of movie she was in.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger knows how to do camp. And I think he was being limited by the metric shit ton of face paint and probably not being able to see through those blue contacts.
I kind of thought he was limited by the fact that they gave Mr. Freeze the correct background, the background from the animated show, which is a tragic and terrible background. And so it's like be super camp while at the same time have this depth of feeling in the loss of your wife.
Have this sort of gnawing emptiness inside you. Now make us laugh.
He can do one or the other.
Yeah, he's no Robin Williams. Come on now.
Oh no,
Yes,
Robin!
you go.
Oh man,
Robin Williams would have made a great Mr. Freeze.
Holy shit, can you imagine?
he would have made us cry.
Oh yeah.
We would have all cried and laughed and hated ourselves for doing both.
Oof.
So anyway, Robin Williams, rest in peace.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the South American research lab, where Bane is created, and I don't want to gloss over that, because I forgot Bane was in this. So the Bane I'm used to
Is
the Tom Hardy Bane. And, you were only
You merely adopted
the
Bane.
darkness. Whereas I was born in it. Molded
Let me show you my underwear pics from MySpace.
Don't.
I
spent the movie going like, is Bane gonna break Batman's back? Are we gonna go that hard into this?
No.
But he didn't. So I'm like, why did we even bring Bane into it?
Because Poison Ivy apparently needed a hench.
I mean,
Did she?
yeah.
Because they severely depowered her. She just has her pheromone and
poisonous
fatal kiss. She does not have her ability to fucking smack you with a vagina that's a vine from out of nowhere.
Well, here's the thing. She technically, even within the film, should have been able to. Because we do see her have magic growing powers.
Yeah.
So she should have been able to whip some stuff around instead of having the feed me.
Oh shoot, guys! We have the Bat snowmobiles later on, so we don't have it in the budget. Sorry.
Side note, I suddenly really need a Batman Little Shop of Horrors crossover.
Check the AO3. I'm certain it's there.
Listeners, remind me.
So anyway.
Again, at Cat to remind me.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, Al.
And the Harley Quinn animated series is she does have a kind of Aubrey 2-esque plant roommate.
Nice.
Huh. So, oh man. So anyway,
the movie happens.
Yeah. We.
So Poison Ivy is kind of sort of murdered, but it doesn't stick. And then
I did like that she went progressively from more green to red. Not really sure why she did that, but that did happen over the course of the film.
Her hair also got bigger, which I think meant that she was growing.
I think maybe it meant she had more secrets.
Ooh, yeah.
And also technically this was, if you think about it, a good pairing in terms of villains, because he is cold and his love is frozen, and she is hot and she forces love on others.
But at the same time, it's kind of a weird pairing because, plants and cold.
Yeah,
And,
like I can see thematically what they were going for.
and they made her weirdly thirsty for him and his, like...
She was
like,
thirsty for all of them, and it was really like, excuse you, her true love is Harley Quinn.
that,
And possibly her plants.
Yeah,
Oh, definitely her plants.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like, more than the humans.
So
Also, she didn't clearly have any anti-toxic powers. Because doesn't she live in, like, a toxic dump or something like that? In, the comics? Because she can filter it out?
here's the thing. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know a ton of the Batman backstory.
How dare. So that means we can say, Pippin, actually, this movie is startlingly accurate and close to it.
Here's the thing. I do know that Bane breaks Batman's back, so you can't even come at me with that.
So this movie.
So then, what does happen next?
All I really remember is that they get home and Alfred is hiding the fact that he is mortally ill. With a disease.
The same one that is killing whatever Mr. Freeze's wife, Nora Freeze?
Plottington's disease.
Plottington's, yeah.
Deadly until it isn't, or until it is.
In actuality, it was McGregor syndrome.
McGregor syndrome.
Okay. Sounds a lot like MacGuffin, guys.
Look, you start watching Train Spotting, and then it just doesn't stop.
So Mr. Freeze needs diamonds to run his suit and also his experiments?
No. He's wanting to basically threaten the entirety of Gotham City so that he can get more research funding, which, you know what? I understand.
And really, at the end of, spoilers for the end of the movie, it kind of works.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, frankly, if he'd just gone to Bruce Wayne and been like, hey, can I get funding for this? And I'll let you look at my cool suit. Probably it would have been fine.
Especially as we, had the whole entire Alfred also has McGregor syndrome because he coughs.
And looks vaguely pained.
Yes. So because of that, then, yeah, Bruce would be like, oh yeah, here. I was about to spend $1 million at a weird, auction thing. I can spend a whole bunch of money on research. $1 million towards research?
Easy.
Done.
I want it to be known that in my notes, I literally have, you know what? Scientists just be like that sometimes.
Well, that's why mad scientists are such a great trope, because you're like, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Okay.
Mad scientists are what happens when you're like, you know what? I'm not going to consult the IRB. Screw this noise.
Mad scientists are what happens when reviewer number 2 goes too far.
It's always reviewer number 2. Have you ever noticed that?
They know what's up.
But also in the, I want to say B plot, C plot, we get introduced to Barbara. Not Barbara Gordon. No. Is she Pennyworth? Or is it
Wilson?
Wilson.
Oh yeah.
The niece.
Uncle Alfred.
Yeah. The niece of Alfred who's just arrived from Oxford, and she does, and don't ask why she doesn't.
Yeah.
Oxford, you're right. But don't ask why she doesn't have an accent.
Also, don't ask why she's so young, and it seems like her mom was so old.
Mm-hmm.
And don't
also, though, I'm gonna say it. I do think that she had, of anybody, at least the most reasonable lines of the film.
Okay. Okay.
Purely on the basis of the fact that she pointed out, like, what do you mean Alfred's happy to be a servant here? What kind of white nonsense is that?
To be fair, she did have a point on that one.
She's like, what? He's happy here. Why would anybody be happy spending their entire lives serving someone else? Oh my god, Robin, grow the fuck up. That girl, ouch! So I give her a lot of credit for having the best line in the film, just for that.
I mean, I don't give her credit for not disguising her hair at all.
Okay, that's already another problem, which is that everybody assumes that a tiny black domino mask is going to be all you need. to hide your face and hide your identity
Now,
at any time.
we do also have a nod towards, Barbara in the comic books. She opens up a computer, so that means she is a computer ace.
It's true. And then she just starts typing random passwords that are real words with capital letters.
Later on in the movie, and you know it. And who makes a 3-word password that is also the nickname of your family? Come on.
Which is visible on the desk.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, possibly an 80-year-old man dying of some degenerative disease.
Fair.
But also an 80-year-old man who is an accomplished graphics designer.
And suit inventor. Also, how creepy would it be if your uncle knew your exact measurements?
And put nipples on your suit. There were bat nips on her suit, too, and they were closed up. There was a close-up of them.
And you hear your computerized uncle say, "Now suit up."
I made a guess as to your measurements
Wink.
last night. Like, oh! Creepy uncle.
He was always creepy Uncle Alfred. Now we know. Oh, poor Alfred.
So much about Batman is explained.
No.
I broke Pippin.
The next run of Batman, Alfred gets Me Too'd.
Oh.
I mean.
Side note, I bet everyone in Gotham is waiting for Bruce Wayne to get Me Too'd, and it's fucking shocking that he hasn't. And that's what outs him as Batman?
Confirmed bachelor Bruce Wayne and his girlfriend that he never dates, but his new male ward.
That's probably the actual talk of the town. But he gives so much money to everybody that, you know what? Whatever.
Everyone's always just so supportive around him. It's like, Bruce, if there's something you want to tell us, we're
Bruce
here.
Being I can't ever tell them I'm Batman.
It's like, Bruce, we're having a parade this weekend. Do you want to come?
Anything you might feel you want to get off your chest there? You can bring your ward.
Everyone's welcome.
So in the internal monologue, it's no, we can't hold a bat parade.
Now, see, that would have been fucking funny.
Gentle listeners, I want you to know that the reason we're not talking about the actual plot of this movie is because there wasn't much. There's a series of heists loosely connected with Alfred dying.
Listen, okay, yeah. I will actually do it. Okay, I'm actually.
Oh God! Oh no! No! Don't do it.
Not like this.
Mr. Freeze is going for the diamonds.
I've been holding on by a frickin' thread.
Mr. Freeze is going for the diamonds. Batman and Robin want to get Mr. Freeze. They, in the guise of Bruce Wayne, they set up a charity auction with the Wayne diamonds so as to draw out Mr. Freeze. However,
also, to that point, it's also a creepy date option.
Yeah, oh my God. It's let's bet on women. It's
Also, okay. Bruce Wayne donated the diamonds. Bruce Wayne nowhere to be found.
Yeah, right? But meanwhile, his good friend Batman is here.
Also, the party's I'm just gonna say it's kind of racist. Just gonna point that out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
What? While at this, before Freeze can get the diamonds, Poison Ivy shows up. I think mostly to get the money so as to do something. I'm not really sure.
Fund eco-terrorism?
Something. She wants the diamonds for some fucking reason.
No, she's there to fuck up Batman and Robin because
that's right.
Because she tried to she went to that press conference and tried to
guilt Bruce Wayne, and everybody's
she knows who
no, she was told because the people in the room were like, ha ha ha, we don't need to protect Mother Nature, we have Batman and Robin to protect us.
Okay. Yeah, so she did try to do some environmental work. She's like, why are you paying for this shit when we should be doing environmentalism? This is back in the 90s when environmentalism was a gag. Remember that, guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And Bruce makes a very good point of, okay, this is a great proposal, but we'll also kill a bunch of people.
So I kind of can't fund that. Again, another scientist scorned.
And Poison Ivy's like, but people suck. What's the problem?
And Bruce is like,
I'm gonna go fund, like, the University of blah, 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 Gotham University. They're actually going to be doing some good environmental policy research. It's nicely peer reviewed. Maybe maybe give us some time and maybe you can get a position there. Okay.
okay.
Maybe wait for all those venoms and toxins that scrambled your brain to just leak out. I don't know.
So Freeze has, I think, a pretty solid game plan here. Wants some diamonds, wants to do something with his wife there. Poison Ivy, a little bit more iffy, wants to fuck up Batman and Robin. She gets the diamonds, proceeds to fuck up Batman and Robin by doing pheromones. They get into like a fight over her, and it's really awkward.
We get the Bat credit card, again, a kind of 90s-esque throwback to the 60s Batman.
Also a product placement.
Yeah.
It's the Bat card everywhere you want to be.
Expires forever.
It didn't really say that, did it?
It
did.
That's fucking funny. I'm sorry, that is pretty funny.
Wait, doesn't that mean it also already expired?
Whoa.
For war. But Freeze and Poison Ivy look at each other like, game recognizes game. They go their separate ways. Stuff happens then.
And then Ivy, he's like, that's not a man, that's a god. And like, what? Seriously? Ew. That's,
Ivy having some man issues in this version, which I will say, or some like heterosexual issues that Poison Ivy in the animated series did not have. Thank you.
The thing is, I think at this point, Mr. Freeze gets captured in the process of trying to steal the diamonds. And we also have more Wayne Manor, family, we're fighting.
Why don't you trust me?
Because I have trouble letting go of things.
You have to open your heart, Bruce.
Do I need to explain that my parents were killed in an alley, so therefore I have issues?
Well, do I have to explain that my parents were killed falling from a circus tent, so I have issues?
So maybe I don't want you to fall, dick!
Aww.
Also, the, frankly, actually, quite excellent design of Gotham City. Like, fuck yeah, I want gigantic statues everywhere. Now we know what happened to Blade Runner in the past. Like, that's what the city was. And in the future, Harrison Ford walks around it.
It's a little weird, but again, sticking to an aesthetic, whatever.
Giant ass Atlas shrugged, like statues everywhere.
Yeah.
The libertarian dream. There's some messaging.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, okay, so Batman, Bat Family. Poison Ivy, busts with Bane's help. Bane! Busts, Dr. Freeze out. Mr. Freeze out.
Dr. Freeze, technically.
They temporarily shack up, and it's awkward because she has a tropical paradise and he likes a gigantic frozen ice storm.
Like, you get your stones, I'll totally rescue your wife, even though I don't have a hand truck with me. Like, I don't know how you're expecting me to do this. I'm clearly planning on murder, but really half of this is on you.
Poison Ivy goes to pick up, goes to the location of Mr. Freeze's wife, and was like, well, this is some dead weight we don't need, so unplugs her and steals the necklace that she's wearing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also fulfilling the jealous other woman on a trope.
Unnecessarily.
I'm going to take a stand and say that the gender politics of this movie are screwy.
What?
I know.
In the
bold
90s,
of me to say.
In the 90s, Pip, are you
My God.
certain that is possible?
I mean, I've got a theory.
It could be bunnies. Yeah. Now,
speaking of screwy gender politics. Anyway.
Hindsight. Now, at this point, we also get the kind of liar revealed trope with Barbara doing street racing. Shrug.
Yeah. Did that happen then? I don't know. I think
it happened a little bit earlier.
Around that same time, though, like we're by a matter of minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And
but
by
like
minutes in this movie, you mean an hour and a half.
probably.
Yeah.
This movie is a full over 2 hours long.
To be in my own defense, my first fully formed thought of I hate this all so much only happened 40 minutes in, but that was still with an hour 20 to go.
I will tell you guys, there's one genuine laugh for me in this entire film. And it was at the hour 41 mark. And it's where well, okay, we're gonna get there. We're not there yet in the story.
Continue.
But gentle listeners, keep an ear out. While the Poison Ivy messing with Mr. Freeze's wife thing happening, she also does more pheromone nonsense to have.
Right, Barbara?
No,
Okay,
no. That's
be
end of
Robin.
the movie.
It
Yeah,
must be
Robin. Yeah, pheromones them, and then Batman and Robin start fighting some more.
Again. It's like, just kiss, guys. Come on.
And it's weird, and it's also weirdly cut. Cause we have Robin going, I'm going solo, and then they're back at Wayne Manor, and like, what? Weren't you going so? Like, are you still?
He had to pack up his stuff.
But
He clearly wasn't.
He needed time to flounce properly. You got to pack all your stuff.
now here's the thing.
Keep on.
That scene does end up serving kind of a purpose with her stealing the necklace of the presumably now, dead, Mr. Freeze wife, in that she's like, oh, sorry, Batman and Robin just, straight up killed her. Shrug. Don't you want to kill the world now? Huh?
Well, and Freeze up to this point being like pretty focused on what he wants. And it's very, again, if Batman had just taken off his cowl for a minute, been Bruce Wayne and been like, you want some millions? Want some millions? Huh?
Researcher wants some funding? Researcher wants some funding?
And tosses it into a lab.
Yes.
Go get him!
I mean, you just toss some
paper.
postdocs in there and, he's going to be all set.
I think that's who the henchmen were.
Yes.
I'm trying to
Absolutely.
figure out how he has henchmen.
Hockey playing postdocs. Yes.
And also, and the one woman in the lingerie, like, what? Like, the thing, like, also just goes to just the bullshit, more bullshit gender, her stuff, like all these men in fur coats, and she's in a see-through plastic coat and lingerie.
They're clearly freezing. She's apparently fine. Also, having a woman in sort of skimpy outfit just sort of hanging around kind of hurts his, I'm here to save my love thing.
Yeah.
Here's my theory behind that. I don't think he's actually interested in her. I think that they were going for the trope of the student super interested in the teacher. Again, making her a grad student.
Huh.
The rest of the postdocs, she's a grad student.
He does vehemently go, yeah, no, I love my wife. Stop.
This is never going to happen.
But why is she there other than, male gazy bullshit?
Male gazy bullshit.
Well, that's for the audience. It's not for him. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Don't blame him for the director's choices, Pippin.
Listen, he's going to have a talk with Frosty after this. Like, going, Frosty, I have to talk to you. Why? What's going on? She is going to get frostbite. I think she's going for that name. What?
Huh.
Anyway.
So, the rest of the movie happens.
Yeah. So now Freeze, thinking his wife is dead or murdered.
Murdered by the bat.
Yeah. Because that is totally something that Batman routinely does.
All the time.
Right.
He's known
Right.
for it, yeah.
Yeah.
So Mr. Freeze will now freeze the world, and then Poison Ivy will be like, now my plant children will take over after the Ice Age is over.
And Freeze is like, okay, whatever.
Whatever, I just want to kill some people now.
And we will be the only two left on Earth to repopulate. And like,
What?
Yeah, like Adam and Evil, whatever. Or I'm focusing on the freezing thing. You're just making it weird. Or also what's with, also that plant's weird. You're just
The
gonna
plant
say.
was an excellent puppet.
It was.
Puppets are great.
To be fair, the plant was foreshadowed.
That's true. With the snake and the other plant.
What is ice if not water persevering?
For God's sake.
Wow. How fucking dare you?
You're just going for anything you can use.
Yep. I am referencing a Zoom call that was not recorded. Haha.
What I'm getting from this is that we would really much rather be talking about WandaVision.
You're not wrong.
Okay, but okay, so they've agreed now that they're gonna fight whatever. What actually happens then, guys?
Then
Alfred collapses, I think.
Yeah, Alfred's dying.
And Robin has to be like, I guess I won't run away this very second.
Well, no, we have to have the fake
there's
out.
the fake out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Batman's or Bruce is like, as my friend, brother, lover, what? Trust me.
Yeah, he does that whole thing. He calls him his brother, and I'm over here going like, isn't he canonically supposed to be like your adopted son?
Ward, yeah. But this leads to the next sequence where Batman and Robin are confronting Poison Ivy, but simultaneously we have Barbara deciding to go sneaking around on Alfred's computer because he's like, my one dying wish is to have you bring this to my brother because I want my brother to be Batman's butler. Shrug.
Yeah, because I somehow need the taint of slavery to continue on. Like, what the fuck?
So Barbara's like, F that noise, so puts the CD in the computer. It's like, oh, it's password protected.
Guys, the height of extravagance, rewritable CDs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Just bringing that back.
The tech can't go anywhere from here. But like, she's like, I will figure out this password because I am a genius hacker. And then it's Peg.
And not like that.
Yeah, not like that.
The first password she tries is Alfred.
Listen, here's the thing. What would have been really funny is if she did there's the 3 passwords that people use when they don't know anything about computer science from the movie Hackers.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's God or something else. I forget the other ones. But the point is, it would have been really funny and a great shout out to the movie Hackers if she had tried those passwords. All that being said, I really love the movie Hackers.
You're assuming you're assuming that they're clever.
Listen, I felt that Cher had a lot of possibilities here.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
So she does eventually hack her way onto the CD.
After an unknown number of, they showed on the screen, like, you have done 1 attempt. And I'm like, oh shit, there must be only 3 attempts. And then she just kept typing shit in.
It was the 90s. What's security back then?
What is security?
I knew you would come down here, Barbara. Also, it took you 75 tries. Jesus Christ.
Never mind. I don't have anything for you.
I was paying for your education in Oxbridge with my money from working at this place. What the hell, Barbara?
I wrote down the password for you.
It was on the back of the CD. Did you flip it over?
Barbara, I meticulously measured your nipples for this suit.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah, she becomes Batgirl.
Cut to the fight with Poison Ivy, in which it looks like that Robin has been fully seduced. But no, it turns out when she reaches in for the deadly kiss, he had rubber lips on, and then he takes off the rubber lips. It's
That's
like,
pretty
aha.
funny too.
That was disconcerting.
The one thing that went through my mind is like the second he takes off the rubber lip, she's like, oh, thanks. Grabs his head, kisses them, and then he just falls over dead.
Yeah, like take your rubber lips off several feet away.
Yeah.
or just don't fucking kiss her.
Step 2, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly they had
though,
some sort of counter agent for the pheromone spray at that point.
Yeah, you'd think.
It would be a Batman sort of thing.
They could have used Bruce's astonishingly strong, not heterosexuality?
To be fair, I chalked it up to just Bruce hating himself that much, but I don't think the movie went there.
Yeah, because he's like, I also want her, but I can't have her. And so that's how I'm fighting this. Oh, by the way, Bruce has a girlfriend in this movie and they break up and that's the end of that. You don't need to know more than that.
Just that.
There's a weird cut. Did you guys
There's always
notice
a weird
it?
cut.
Well, Robin gets shoved into a pool to drown like you do.
Oh, yeah, that.
And at one point, they fast forward and rewind.
Probably because they didn't have enough footage of him struggling. It's like,
Yeah.
But it's so obvious. And again, if they had maybe done it more than once, or added a really funny sound effect, same with like the Bane fight that they did earlier, then it could have been on purpose and part of the gag. As opposed to, production error.
you weren't able to get a shot of him being pulled down, huh?
Chris O'Donnell wouldn't get his hair wet a third time, I see.
He had a writer in his contract. What can we do? That gel is not cheap.
Fun fact though, listeners, water in movies is not water, it's lube.
Ew. That explains cast parties.
So
keep that in mind next time someone's using holy water.
so anyway,
Supernatural.
Bruce Wayne,
Closure joke.
Bruce Wayne, Batman, goes like, we know your plan now, and she's like, Vines, like, this is the only time you've actually used this.
what the hell? And I think she, at this point, is about to win, and that's when Batgirl comes into the scene and kicks her, and I think Poison Ivy she confesses to killing Mr. Freeze's wife.
I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Can't be crazy. And I think that at that point, Barbara kicks Poison Ivy into a giant Venus flytrap, and Poison Ivy exits the movie.
Yep. But we still have to solve the problem of Mr. Freeze, who is, frankly, much more productive than Poison Ivy at this point.
Yeah, he's actively freezing Gotham. Good for you, Mr. Freeze. You had a plan at the beginning of the movie, and you executed it. Bravo.
Yeah. I mean, I bet he was a hell of a scientist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he cured early stage McGregor syndrome, which is another thing that got revealed partway in the movie, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just so happens to be exactly the level that Alfred's at.
Weird.
Funny that.
Anyway, so Freeze is freezing the city. Freeze gets knocked out. I forget how. And then, oh no, we have to unfreeze the city, and has been established several fucking times over the course of this film. They only have 11. Oh my god, you guys, it's the task. They only have 11 minutes.
And yet,
before everybody dies.
And yet, they had enough time for a costume change.
Of course. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on.
Gotta be in style. I mean, come on.
Wait, everyone. We have to change out of her suits and into our suits with silver accents.
I mean, because it's snowy. I mean, come on now.
We don't want to get cold.
Yeah.
Barbara, you're on the motorcycle. Oh, Dick, you're on the airboat. The airboat, and I'm in my car, which has a shield on it, apparently.
As you do.
Let's go, team. And meanwhile, everybody's just dead.
And then could the resident scientist among us please tell us the brilliant solution for how to warm all of Gotham?
As a library scientist, I'll take this. They use the sun through a series of really fancy mirrors.
In space. Which I think it would have been a funny blooper if they did all that, then all of a sudden it's basically acting like a space death ray, and now all of Gotham is on fire.
That would be funny, yeah.
It's guys, we did not think this plan through. We didn't run the numbers. The sun actually has a whole boatload of energy.
Now, I don't know whether or not the line that I genuinely laughed at was right before this sequence or right afterwards.
What is the line, Kat?
So the line was, Barbara's like, I don't know, I guess Batman and Robin would be like, well, we're Batman and Robin, but nobody else, nobody you know, Barbara. And she's like, yeah, I know that you're Bruce and Robin. I'm sorry, yeah, I know you're Bruce and Robin. Jesus. Dick Grayson. And the setup to the genuinely funny line is Robin saying something along the lines of,
oh, that one.
Well, I guess we'll have to kill you then. And then the funny line is George Clooney very seriously being like, yes, we'll have to kill you later.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's at the end of the Poison Ivy bit.
Yeah.
That was the one genuine gag, the one genuine laugh from this entire film.
that one time that they actually had any chemistry.
I kind of wonder if that was like George Clooney just.
I kind of wonder if it was George Clooney. It had that vibe.
It sounds like it does sound like something he would have said on ER.
Or like you could see like maybe what's his head Danny Ocean do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You think we need to get one more bat? We need to get one more bat. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
So they fix everything, and
They fix the town. They fix Alfred, and they also fix Mr. Freeze with a lab at Arkham.
Well, and they tell him, guess what, BT Dubs, we saved your wife. She's fine. We managed to turn the freeze thing back on, and Mr. Freeze is like, oh my god, that's really so nice. And it's like, yeah, and by the way, could you perhaps tell us how to cure the disease otherwise? And he's like, you know what, I got you, boo. And gives them some liquid that he just happens to have in his arm. And I'm like, what is that liquid, Mr. Freeze?
the continuing theme of this movie was, to me, was you just had that on you
The entire time.
And like, is it a spare? Is it your bodily fluid? Like, what is going on here? But whatever, they give it to Alfred, and Alfred's like, hi, I'm normal now.
Was that snowman piss?
It tasted like snowman piss.
Ew.
Snow jizz. Listen, he keeps it around, and I did it too.
Nope.
Anyway, Brendan vetoes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get a quick scene of Poison Ivy in Arkham, and then it turns out Mr. Freeze is her new cellmate.
He's kind of pissed about the trying to murder his wife thing.
A little bit.
Though I will point out that they redeemed Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, who had similar things happen to her in her origin. She started off as maybe a over-exuberant plant lover, but still with a moral center, to go, I will fucking report you. And then
she was murdered in the course of this film.
And then came back super full of chemicals and all that. So, not gonna do.
She had no opportunity to make her own moral choice, which is a difference from, let's say, Wonder Woman 1984, where there was the choice in that film for certain characters to recant of their bad decisions, and they're like, no, actually, fuck you.
My decisions are always amazing, always.
But no, she didn't have this chance here. Like, yeah. Women, though, am I right?
Women.
So,
And that's the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with this
and
movie.
They run at the screen. They run at the screen.
They run at the screen at the end. So there's a lot with this movie. It's
so much.
A lot to unpack here.
Yeah, it's a movie.
It's definitely. Are we sure?
Actually, yeah. There's not much else to unpack. Just
I mean, we spent a while talking about just this movie in general, and also just the film score never freaking stopped, except in Wayne Manor, I think.
But
yeah.
I want everyone to know that a song was written for this movie by the Smashing Pumpkins called "The End Is the Beginning Is the End."
No, not the Smashing Pumpkins.
And it won a Grammy Award.
Oh.
I'm sorry, they did this to Seal's Kiss from a Rose? What kind of monsters are they?
So let's talk about what we'd change in this, because, I'm sure there's lots we could mess with if we...
Let's stick with one change.
Okay.
one change each, because otherwise
we'll be here all night.
And we'll step on each other's changes. Well, can I just say before we get into this that what this movie clearly what this movie wanted to be was Lego Batman.
Oh. Yeah.
Lego Batman toed the line that this movie was trying to toe.
That's a very good point. Possibly this movie should have been made out of Legos.
Yeah.
Would it have been improved if it probably would have, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just imagine a shot-for-shot remake. This is my thing. A shot-for-shot remake of Batman and Robin,
Son
but
of a
it's
bitch.
all done with Legos.
To be, oh my god, I'm like thinking about it now.
Because just imagine the suiting up scenes done as parody with Legos. It's just you see a Lego butt.
Yes, that'd be
With a
really
little line drawn.
Yeah.
That would have been really little tiny
Oh.
bat nips.
Well, you see the. Oh no! You see the you see the leg holes.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It'd be pretty funny if there were bat nips and then somebody like carefully took a cloth and rubbed it off and it turned out it was just Lego was a little dusty.
That was that marker.
Yes.
How embarrassing.
Also, how funny would it be to watch like Alfred Lego like twirl around on one foot as he coughs to demonstrate that he's ill?
Oh.
So, Bren, your change is Lego. We make it Lego.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
I mean, you can't say you
We-
wasted it though, because that is genius.
That's true.
If we
I could talk more, but I'm sure somebody was going to take what I was going to talk about anyways. Go for it.
I'm gonna go for my single change,
Uh-huh.
which is I'm just gonna get rid of the whole dying Alfred thing.
oh yeah,
That whole subplot, unfucking necessary. You don't need it.
Yeah.
It didn't add anything.
I mean, technically they were trying to use it to, I guess, underscore the Bat family story about, like,
Yeah.
trust or something. But it didn't work, so if it's not going to work, why the fuck use it?
I mean, you could just have Alfred just giving a lecture about family and then boom, you're done.
Or he could spend most of the movie like, I'm hanging out with Barbara this movie. Because you
Wait.
are being a dick.
And teaching her how to be a part of the Bat family.
Wait, what's this? Was the theme of this movie is supposed to be family and trust?
It was supposed to be, I'm sure.
Is this the Fast and the Furious movie?
Oh, yeah, wait. There was a Fast and the Furious, like, it wasn't an actual reference because this is before it. But there was the racing scene.
Mm-hmm.
And
was
also,
like 1-for-1.
and also you can't make a jump scene.
Holy shit, you guys. Did
This is
people
a-
who make Fast and Furious look at this movie and say, how can we make it better? A la
Yeah.
No Story is Sacred, which we also hadn't invented yet.
Side note, speaking of the racing scene, there was a group there dressed like the people in the Clockwork Orange. And it was freaky.
I saw them.
To be fair, though, that's a great reference.
But why?
Like, well, they're clearly not there to race. They don't have a racer representing them.
Me and my droogs needed something to do on a Saturday night. And the milk bar was closed.
Ah.
I've also never watched a Clockwork Orange.
Ta 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 ta
Oh,
ta ta.
Anyways,
Clockwork Orange references.
Bum bum bum. That's what you come to for to No Story is Sacred. The modern, up-to-date references.
Ha ha.
We talked about WandaVision.
oh wait, guys, hold on. While I have a man on the internet opinion.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, let me vape.
Oh god! He's vaping.
Are you in your car shooting yourself with a cell phone?
Ooh.
Oh no, I'm shooting myself on a cell phone while also tweeting. Hey,
Okay.
they couldn't make a Clockwork Orange today.
Whoa.
Jesus.
And I'm gonna do my female film criticism hat.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh,
Side note, I've never watched a Clockwork Orange.
Third note, our parents had the record of the Clockwork Orange soundtrack, which I like to listen to because it had Beethoven's Fifth and, at one point, the song Singing in the Rain. And I thought that was great. I love the song Singing in the Rain. And people in the audience, I dare you to tweet Pippin why that's a problem.
You don't need to. I do know the context for that one.
Oh,
One of the reasons I haven't watched a Clockwork Orange.
we all listen to soundtracks of movies that weren't appropriate for us. I listen to the Desperado soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
Oh, such a good soundtrack. Why don't we talk about Desperado?
Put it on the
Put
list.
it on the list.
Also, I listened to the soundtrack, the whatever, Tubular Bells, which was from the movie, not the Poltergeist, but the one with the girl with her head that spins around with the pea soup.
The
Mom,
Exorcist.
thank you, The Exorcist. It's supposed to be the creepy theme from The Exorcist, but Mom and Dad had the original, just Bell record. And I'm like, this is nice.
Huh.
So
I am missing some cultural touchstones there.
So here's what I would do.
Go on.
Alex, did you have another joke you wanted to get in?
No.
So here's...
You ruined that.
I ruin everything I touch. Just look at our family. But anyway.
Wait, why am I gasping? That's accurate.
Wow!
Ah.
Fuck, okay.
I'll tell you a joke later to make you feel better.
Thank you. So what I would change, the one thing I can so many things.
One thing.
Keep it to one.
Well, I would fix Poison Ivy.
Oh no, that's my
Yeah.
thing.
Haha.
See? That's why it's one thing, guys.
And to be fair, it wouldn't take much to fix her.
Just let her be gay.
Let her be gay could be a fix.
Let her be Pippin levels of misandry.
Yeah!
Pippin, what I'm getting from this is that you would make an amazing Poison Ivy.
I would make an amazing
Pip-
Poison Ivy.
What would you do
Yeah.
with the story?
If I were Poison Ivy?
No, to fix the story.
I also want to know what you would do if you were Poison Ivy.
What are you changing about Poison Ivy to fix the story?
Yeah.
I'd have her not be obsessed with men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for the killing them part.
Good.
And be like, hey, I'm not going to destroy humanity. I'm going to save the planet.
Hmm.
Cause I feel like her motivations got muddled with her weird obsession with men.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, it got weird.
So she is a hero in her own mind.
Aren't they always?
Yeah, and I'm not sure I changed her makeup at all because I feel like it was on point. But other than that,
I did like her transition from green to red. I did.
yeah.
It spoke it could have spoken to her motivations getting corrupted. It didn't, but it
It
could have.
didn't. If it had, that would have been cool. But yeah, it's just fix Poison Ivy. Because again, she's one of those villains that in the animated series, real cool.
Rocks the fucking... It's another one of the ones where you're like, yeah, actually, I can see her point. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about a lot of Batman villains. Like you can see what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like with Mr. Freeze, by the end of his story in the cartoon, I'm just like, yeah, you freeze that motherfucker. Like, he deserves to die. Batman, get the fuck out of here. We got business.
Batman, turn around for a second. Just turn around.
I just want to talk.
Get out of here.
Go on. Get.
Okay. So Pep,
Which apparently happened in Harry and the Hendersons too, and I didn't know that. There's a go on get sequence in that movie with John Lithgow and a gigantic Bigfoot. So, just so you know.
Good to know.
Yep.
Alex, go.
okay, so Pep, you stole my thing. So
Yeah, sounds right.
yeah.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah. So, gonna go with my backup. Let Bane be, the intelligent and articulate, fucking mastermind that he is.
Bane.
Like, monkey business work.
Oh,
Like,
oh man. Speaking of Bane, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I do want to point. I do want to point out that when they were making Bane at the beginning, they reference Super Soldier Serum
and I was just
and
like, whoa!
Venom. And I'm like, wow, Marvel was really not a force at this point.
It was not.
no.
It was some sad shit. But
Because
also,
you could not get away with that.
oh fuck, you can't even do that now. Are you kidding? Because we have gifted, not mutants, and they can't even do it within their own goddamn series.
Oh.
Also, though, but if you had made him super intelligent, what would have happened to his tiny hat and his trench coat that he wore to disguise himself?
He could still wear the tiny hat and trench coat. All I'm saying,
It was so good.
You would underestimate him at that point.
like, no, he'd be like, Ivy, are you certain? Your motivations are pure on this.
You merely adopted the tiny hat.
I was I was born on it. Molded by
Molded.
Taught by it, tried my first bike by it. Taught how to shave by it.
Guys, I have a hard enough time hearing real Bane.
I didn't see my first trilby until I was a man.
Oh no.
Fuck. And of course he'd know it's the trilby is the gross one, not a fedora.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
An intelligent Bane would be there to, go to caution an Ivy and all that, but not enough to mansplain to her because that's gross.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him getting kind of dragged around by her shenanigans.
So,
And then she fails and he becomes the biggest bad at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, he was still unaccounted for at the end. He just kind of left him there, and he probably just stopped it back into his head eventually.
I mean, I do really appreciate a villain shuffle. It's a find the lady, like a 3-card Monty. Which one's the real villain by the end?
so,
Who's the threat? Ooh, watch my hands carefully.
so was that all of us, or?
I think
Yeah.
so.
So I just.
If you didn't hear it, you can say it now.
Okay, so one thing that did occur to me as I was watching this movie is that I would have liked to see just... I hate the trend of some of these superhero movies where you just have the multiple villains because we have to raise the stakes.
Yeah.
And I think we could have had a really tragic villain story play out with just Mr. Freeze, and then maybe had him failing due to his own hubris, or maybe he was so focused on some part of the mission or whatever that he kind of lost track of what was actually important, which at the end of the day is trying to cure his wife. If he had just maybe followed some other course of action, he could have actually pursued the research.
Hey, did we find out why he froze in the movie?
He fell.
Yeah.
See, that's weak, because in the cartoon, the reason he became Mr. Freeze is that the guy who pulled his funding then tried to kill him when Mr. Freeze threatened to tell everybody that the dude was pulling medical research funding and killing patients, i.e. his wife. So not only did the dude, freeze Mr. Freeze's wife, but also induced a chronic disability into Mr. Freeze. And so, Mr. Freeze had a lot going on, and that was one of the many reasons where you're like, no, this is fine. You get him, Freeze.
It needs to be more than just I want to cure my wife. There needs to be some misanthropy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, I think the reason he goes, he chooses, in the cartoon, he chooses a time when the guy who froze his wife and caused this thing and removed all the blah, 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 was getting a humanitarian award from Wayne Enterprises. And so he's like, I'm sorry, what?
So,
and proceeds to do that, and is also like, fuck you very much, Bruce Wayne.
So all I'm getting at is, let's just make a feature-length film version of all that origin story and then wrap it into one big dramatic conclusion at the end, because you know what? That would be a compelling story.
Well, and also you could have done much, if you only had the one villain, you could have spent more time and more appropriate time on the Bat family.
Yes.
And it could have been a foil. The stories could have been foils for each other. Reflections.
Yeah, Twisted Family versus Bat Family.
Which is also a Twisted Family.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but what do you do for love? What is the right thing to do? How far will you go to protect someone?
I would do anything for love.
But I won't do that, Pippin.
I won't.
I guess,
I won't do that. That's just weird.
Hey, don't yuck my yum.
And if we really want to have Batgirl in this, we could have her just be Barbara Gordon, and she could be representing towing the line between, being with your traditional family and being with the Bat family, and how maybe the true path is kind of follow your passions, but also, hey, respect the needs and help out your own family too. There's ways you can kind of moderate this shit.
All I know is that Bruce Wayne can, will, and must adopt any unsupervised children. And by children, I mean up to their early 20s.
I already have my own place. I already pay I already pay my own taxes.
I'm your father, now deal with it.
Wait, we all know that this is all how all random billionaires in comic books act when they have family issues. They gather everybody to them.
Tony Stark has not adopted one orphan.
That we know of.
Excuse you, he built an entire Avengers tower without telling them that he was building them dedicated rooms, Pippin. And that's the MCU. That's not even counting the comics.
Man, do you remember that golden age when we all thought that, that we were going to have happy Avengers?
When we're going to get domestic Avengers, yeah.
I was reading Daredevil fic about that the other day. That's neither here nor there.
Oh, 2012 Tumblr.
We were all more innocent then.
It was a better time.
We were all blogs once.
Listen, yeah. But this you're right, Brendan. You're absolutely right. This could have been a lot more focused. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Where did the multiple villain thing come from? Like, the first movie had it. Did they just keep doing it because that seemed like a good idea?
I know Beyond had it. Because it had, Joker, not Joker,
Riddler and Two-Face, I thought.
Riddler and Two-Face.
No. That's Batman Forever, but yeah.
Forever, whatever. Listen, there are too many Batmans.
It's following the same format as Batman Forever, where it's two villains, and some of them do it like
and Catwoman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman Returns.
Batman Begins actually does it too, because it has Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul.
God damn it!
Yeah, they all do it. And then MCU starts going, or not even MCU. This was Fox Marvel, because I think they're the ones who did X-Men.
Yeah,
it started moving away from that because of it started being team dynamic junk. Teams of villains.
Like, the first Spider-Man movie, I think, just had the Green Goblin.
And second one was Doc Ock.
Wait, when did Green Goblin's son show up, though?
3.
Okay. That movie.
And that had Venom and Sandman.
Yeah.
Not the good Venom.
I haven't... Speaking of Bane, I still haven't watched that Venom.
Huh.
Okay, Pippin, I do need you to not watch it until we can schedule a time to watch it together.
Huh.
Because it's very important to me that, at the very least through Zoom or something, I be able to see your face at any given moment. Okay? During
That's
the
not
watching
creepy.
of that movie. I just need that. Because that movie is amazing.
I'm going to watch it with Ashley now just to spite you.
Fuck you. I won't tell you the funny joke I was going to tell you.
So speaking about funny jokes, anybody have an idea for a game to play?
I feel like this episode's rushing real fast just because we're like, listen, we gotta get as far away from this story as we possibly can.
We have so many other better things to watch.
We keep talking about them. Add that to the list. What about Batman? Shh.
Let's talk about our theories about where Mephisto fits in to Batman and Robin.
Such a good question.
Let's do, if no one objects, special appearance by?
Sure.
Special appearance by.
Sure.
Wait. Can we do a child shall rule them all?
No.
Damn it! Someday it's gonna be the right moment. I missed it the first time.
Do you know what the answer to this one is? Robin.
But seriously though, that would be really funny if instead of like adult Robin, it was like an 8-year-old, 9-year-old Robin, maybe?
Yeah, no, you pick a Robin.
But then he still has like, yeah, it would be, he like, I can go on my own, and Batman being like, you really can't. He's like, yes, I can, gets on his bike.
That is exactly what happens with Damian Wayne, but go on. Special appearance by.
Special appearance by what happens if a meta character, a character from another property, appears.
And see, I'm actually going to go first, because I'm going to do 2, because it's going to be Doug Ross from ER and Danny Ocean.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
I am doing the double Clooney.
Oh, the triple Clooney at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hot.
What if it's okay, yes. And also, can you imagine if like they showed up and there's like, not only is Bruce Wayne Batman? No, which one's the real Bruce Wayne? Which one's the real Batman? It'd be really funny if Bruce Wayne's rich and then some of the other Clooney's keeps being mistaken for Batman.
That sounds like a Batman plot, honestly.
Yeah.
It's so good. And they're all like, why do they keep thinking we're Batman?
Just go with it.
I think Danny Ocean would definitely roll with it. And it's like, well, okay, I'll go into this bat cave, whatever.
Yeah. No, and
I am Batman.
but no, Danny Ocean shows up at that gala because he's also there to steal that necklace.
Yes, he is.
Like,
Only he has an actual goddamn plan.
yeah, and like 15 other guys.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And so it ends up that the Mr. Freeze's ray doesn't work because it turns out that the diamonds he grabbed got swapped out.
Wait a second. That's the plot of Ocean's. Is it Ocean's?
Listen,
Ocean's 8.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't remember the number. I'm like, is it 10?
I still haven't watched Ocean's 8.
Wait, have you not seen Ocean's 8 yet?
I haven't seen Ocean's 8 yet.
As have I.
Oh, children.
I apologize.
Listen! Leave me alone.
Sibling movie time. We'll do an Amazon watch or something.
And then at some point, Bruce Wayne gets injured and taken to the hospital, and Doug Ross is there, even though he's a pediatrician, and he's working on him. So there you
It's
go.
while he's a resident.
Everybody else ate the fish that night, and he had the chicken.
So what do we got? Well, we've got an attempted jewel thief, Danny Ocean, and
And of course, Mr. Wayne.
like, they look just like you. Nah.
Huh.
Well, no, I'm obviously obviously better looking. Okay, let's go.
I'd look like that too if I was rich.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, just pure silly.
I do like the idea of just Danny Ocean spending the majority of the movie trying to take over the spot of one or the other of them. Or not take over, but just saying, "Are you Bruce Wayne?" And him just being like, "Yes, I am."
Like,
Come this way, sir.
Wrestling his way out. He's like, "No, he isn't. Stop it, Danny."
Batman's there and he can't say a fucking thing.
and
Dr. Ross, somebody come in and be like, Doctor, you're needing surgery right away. He's like, I understand. Just to let me get in my scrubs and get Dr. Ross. Like, stop that, Danny.
and Nurse Carter is like, okay, like, they're different people, but goddamn, like, I could, if I play my cards right.
We have a real good night.
Hey.
Okay. So
Can I
moving
go
on.
next?
Yeah,
moving
go
on. Moving on.
So I feel like mine might be a bit obvious.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay. All right, I know what you're gonna do.
I'm going to say Tony Stark.
Damn it, I don't know what you're gonna do. Okay, fine.
Here's the thing. I knew who you thought I was going to say. But no, while Matt Murdock Daredevil would be amazing in this, no, I actually have in my notes a very early on, like during like the first heist, I can only think of Tony Stark going, "How did you fix the icing problem?"
Here's the other thing. Tony Stark, canonically in the comic books, has roller skates in his suit. For no reason other than because he could.
That does sound very Tony. But yeah, no, another billionaire philanthropist. If we're going MCU Tony, or even comics Tony at this point because of Civil War, he doesn't bother to hide his identity, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't care. He has canonically fixed the icing problem of his suit. So Mr. Freeze can try. He can also, like, hack things, so he can look at Mr. Freeze's suit and go like, no, the leg bits don't work anymore. He is an engineer. Tony Stark built it in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not Tony Stark.
Side note, I did finally watch Far From Home.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh, you should totally watch it.
Really?
There's a callback to the box of scraps.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so he's fixed that problem. Tony Stark could take one look at Mr. Freeze and solve every single one of the problems.
But then I feel like much like the Hulk, he would also then be like, "No, you are a good scientist. You are my friend now."
Yeah, that's one of the problems he fixes.
Aww.
I feel like he'd have more problem with Ivy, because he's not a bioengineer.
Yeah, that seems a little too soft science for him.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, so that could be his main antagonist, thus again bringing my desire to bring Ivy.
Well, he just brings her to Doctor Strange. Here, her brain's just full of like, what was it? Aloe and chlorophyll and venom? Like, just full of stuff. How is she alive?
No. You take him to a Wakanda situation. Wakanda will clean this shit right out.
Shuri would just be like, done.
Done. What about the nightmares? Don't worry about that.
You can hang out in the hut. No.
Yeah. Listen, he was a cute goat farmer.
This is our trauma hut. No, it fixes trauma. Shh.
Sadness, errands, trauma huts. That's how you know they were friends.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh.
Cat or
shit.
Bren?
Is it my turn?
Go for it, Kat.
No. Okay. You know what? Because I'm not ready to let this joke go.
The Cat Crichton story.
I would like Paul Bettany as Chaucer to be in this story.
Fuck you.
Uh,
I thought you were going to do Paul Rudd.
I just think it would be funny.
At this point, he has acknowledged that he's an immortal.
At this point, he has acknowledged that he's an immortal. He's wandering around having a good fucking time, and he ends up in what appears to be a disaster.
With no clothes on, because it's Paul Bettany.
Because it's in his contract.
Like, why are you naked? Well, my clothes just got frozen and shattered.
But the important part is I really want him to be wandering around, end up, first in Freeze's camp and then in Ivy's camp, writing notes and whatnot, and finally ending up with the Bat family being like, very, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, like, this bed's just right. Not like that. And
kind of like that.
a little bit like that. But then just in time to give a pithy whatever about family. And how much he misses his own because it's been many centuries since he saw them. So you have to take what you have and live it to the fullest.
Wait, so is this Paul Bettany Chaucer being cursed with immortality or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, he does say you have to take life and live it to the fullest while staring soulfully into Dick Grayson's eyes.
Yeah, he fucking does. Meanwhile, Batgirl's like, hey now. And Chaucer's like, wench, thou shalt not. And she's like, that makes it better for me, to be honest.
Cannot even with you.
And then, like, the Gotham Tales. Like,
yeah. Like, it's been a while since I wrote some poetry. Might as well stay around here. This seems like a place for my muse. And then he's like, is Poison Ivy my muse? And then he spends like 20 minutes with like, no.
And, Al, I'd like to do a correction.
yeah.
It's The Dark Knight's Tale.
Oh, no.
Goddamn.
No, it's the Dark Knight's Tale. It is one of the stories within the Gotham Tales.
Oh, I see, like the Canterbury, and then okay.
Yeah.
So the frame story is Gotham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although the Canterbury Tales were, the frame story was a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
They're going from Metropolis to Gotham.
Which actually is a good segue for me.
Oh, damn it.
Because the character I want is to have Superman show up, but like not like the Boy Scout Superman, I know that you are Bruce Wayne and I'm just going to be commenting on all your poor life decisions.
Wait, I have point of order. I have a question.
Shoot.
About the nature of the game.
Uh-huh.
Because Superman and Batman technically exist in the same universe.
That's a very good point.
He mentions Superman in the movie.
Superman works a lot. But I specifically want a particular Superman. Like, even like the one that shows up in that, like, Star Kid, production. I would give you a little bit of that.
Like
to be fair, the Star Kid Batman story is one of the better Batman stories.
Right?
Okay, I have not seen it. Pippin, you have to show it to me.
Like, so
I'll find you a link.
So you want side-eyed Superman?
Yeah, and just, like, you're messing things up with Dick again, aren't you, Bruce? It's like
the least helpful of all the super people.
Yeah. I just want to have somebody constantly, like, as like a superhero equal, just judging the crap out of Bruce Wayne for all his poor life decisions.
The story of judgment only someone raised in the Midwest can get you.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, I'm realizing that maybe I made an error when I chose Chaucer. I do love Chaucer, obviously. But I'm kind of wondering if I should have instead chosen the superhero team from The Boys.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I feel like that kind of genre clash would lead to a lot of blood. Like, so much. And then maybe Batman having to realize that maybe he can't be in a comedy. Maybe this is for all the marbles.
And here I am, just with my sarcastic Superman bringing Bruce like a sadness latte. It's like, hey, buddy,
You want to talk about it?
your girlfriend dumped you?
I got you a latte.
How did you know? I can see through walls, buddy.
I got
Hey, buddy. Me and Diana were talking.
Hey, pal, why do you keep calling me that? Hey, slugger.
That doesn't help.
Hey, sport.
Not any better. Oh,
Hey, champ.
Just a different one every time.
yes. I don't
Let's go,
know.
pal.
I'm sure like Golden Age Superman has this power, but like somehow like little like sitcom special moment music starts playing in the corner.
Weirdly, all I can think of is a scene from the comics that I've seen around of Superman getting drugged in such a way where he appears to be drunk, and is dressed in Bruce Wayne's clothes on a yacht party of Bruce Wayne's.
This sounds like Tony was there.
You'd think. And an assassin has been sent to kill Bruce Wayne, who isn't there, but he sees Clark Kent, Superman, dressed in his clothes, so okay, that's Bruce Wayne. And goes to kill him, and for some reason it's not working. And Clark Kent's just like, oh, my shirt!
I would read an entire comic of just that.
I'll see if I can find it.
Like, literally just the time an assassin didn't kill Clark. Just over and over again. Now, that would also make a fan-fucking-tastic movie.
Okay, for me to actually like that as a movie, you'd have to file the serial numbers off.
So that we don't know that's Superman?
So you can experience it from the assassin's point of view as they try to kill this one person and it just keeps on not working.
Oh, that could be a funny movie.
That could be a fun... I don't know. I find a lot of humor in the idea of the audience knowing that it's Clark and the shenanigans from there. But I can also see how that would be, let's say, actually commercially viable, Alex.
Haha.
No, you'd find out that the person's a superhero pretty
early.
like 30 minutes in, and after one or two attempts, but the assassin doesn't.
Here's the thing.
So this is a Rasputin biopic, I see.
Here's the thing. Kat's thing is a sketch. Alex's is a movie.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good point. Good point.
And on that note, I think we have exhausted everything.
We could possibly wring out of this.
Actually, we haven't. We've only scratched the surface. But honestly, I don't want to be here all night.
What? I have nothing better to do.
So yeah,
right.
that was Batman and Robin, y'all. Whoa.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
an experience.
That it was. Before we go, does anyone have anything to plug?
Yes. Sometime in May, or at least the next issue of Apex magazine should have my short story, Demon Fighters Suck. Unless it's Demon Fighters Sucks. I don't really remember my own title.
Good job.
I should look that up. Thank you. But that'll be in there, and it's accidentally ended up being a pretty special story to me. So that'll be interesting when it comes out.
And I have an online show coming up next month. It's going to be like the second week of April.
Woo!
So
Woohoo!
I got that coming up. Select Start. Look it up. We're on the internet sometimes.
Sometimes.
Should we also plug the memorial editions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pippin, you're good at that.
We, Dad, our family, have released a few memorial editions, for our mom, Deborah Doyle, of, the short story Jenny Nettles, the short story On Sueve Point, and the book Bad Blood.
So look out for those.
Yeah, they contain special essays written by Dad about the writing of the stories, and they are all pretty great. She says, completely unbiased.
I mean, at this point, we aren't even, grown up in the house anymore, so, like, the royalties don't affect us directly anymore, so...
Yeah.
Less biased.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
That's
true.
logic.
But also, if you go to madhousemanor.com and you go to the shop area, you can see those editions, links to buy them, and also, free snippets to read to see if you're into it. And of course, future memorial editions as well.
Like you got your ghosts, you got your space travel, you've got your werewolves. What won't you like?
This website has everything. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Nah.
All right, y'all. As always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostoriessacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoriessacred or send an email through contact@nostoriessacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex MacDonald, Brendan MacDonald, Pippin MacDonald, and Catherine Crichton. Editing and music for this episode done by Brendan. Transcripts done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoriessacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Stories Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoriessacred. See you next time when we talk about the 2001 movie, The Fast and the Furious.
It's about family.
Family.
That's what I hear.
And cars.
You gotta live your life a quarter mile at a time.
Oof.
You guys don't know that line yet, but you will.
Wait, is the first one even about family? They're not.
Oh, they're all about family.
Well, they're not.
Yeah, my goodness.
We will get into it.
Well, they're.
Until then, no story is sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Pippin.
I'm Alex.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Brendan.
And we're
No story is sacred.
Sacred.